tea, but I was like, here, maybe we should get a bottle. Welcome
to the celebrated nightly news of
Calaveras
Calaveras County.
Yep.
We're back.
We're here, and it's Monday.
It is Monday.
And we were just talking about our weekend, which was kind
And
of crazy.
see, I look a little bit
You
red
look
and
a
hard and hung up wet. You know, this is and I have to say is
It was
we
a beach
went
weekend, right?
bargain basement camping.
Yes.
There is a campsite. There's a campground in Monterey where you can camp for $20 a night.
Mm-hmm.
So where else can you take a family of four camping to Monterey for $20?
That's true, and it's in the center of Monterey, you said.
It is. It's in the center of Monterey. And if you're, it's right up by the Presidio. It's actually very nice.
How many campgrounds are there then?
Oh, wow. I mean, campgrounds or campsites?
Campsites, I'm sorry, campsites.
Probably, oh boy, 70 or 80, probably campsites.
Oh, it's huge then.
Well, not huge, but they're fairly
Okay,
packed
they're
in.
right
It's
next
first
to
come,
each
first
other.
serve. You cannot make reservations.
Uh-huh.
And there's some really nice ones that back up to the forest. They're kind of secluded.
So it's nice.
And then there's the ones if you get there later, which is one of the ones that we got.
It's right next
kinda
to the
like,
road?
No. Well, it's kind of like you're in the middle of a city park. You know, with like the playground equipment and everything. But anyway, it was actually very nice. And it was
the weather nice down there?
bit chilly in the evenings and the mornings, but overall nice during the day.
The weather was pretty mild here this weekend.
Yeah, it's been pretty this
mild.
global warming thing is pretty good. We'll take it so
Yeah.
far, right? Yeah.
It sort of mellows out the weather patterns, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have those 30 days of 110 degree or 105 degree weather like we did a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, it's probably coming back, huh?
We'll see. We could go into another ice age pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because I remember it wasn't too long ago when we were hitting another ice age. That was only about 10 years ago. So
Well,
anyway,
maybe
things
it's
have
precursor.
happened.
Things have happened. I guess we should probably start off on the fire news.
That's right.
And this was the Calaveras Dome fire. And this is one that started off early basically last Friday evening?
Yes.
Friday evening,
Yes.
and this was one Calaveras Dome, and this was initially, they thought it was just
a little
Forest Service. Then Cal Fire was called in. Then they were officially given. Now, for those of you who don't know, on fires up here, it's kind of an interesting
Thursday
thing.
actually, because we did
It
talk
was?
about it a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, I just realized that.
Now, have we ever explained jurisdictionally how the fires work up here?
We never have, so why don't you take
what
the
a
bull by the horns?
What a golden opportunity.
Exactly.
to disperse information that you probably didn't care to know, right?
Anyway, it is jurisdictional.
It is,
Firefighting.
and basically, if it is, for example, Stanislaus National Forest land, it is not a Cal Fire. It
Exactly.
is
It's a
Forest Service, so
Forest
it's a federal.
Service. It's a federal fire.
They take first. They get first crack at it, as far as actually running it. The press releases that we get come from the Forest Service instead of from Cal Fire. So it is a little bit of a different thing.
Yes.
And we had 3 fires total. We had 2 last week. One around the Bummer fire.
Yeah, the Bummer
fire was a Forest Service fire, and they invited Cal Fire to participate.
Many times that's what happens,
because
though.
Cal Fire is more the resources, the
Cal
planes
Fire and the U.S. Forest Service and actually the local agencies all work together in fighting fires.
Right.
So it's sort of interesting the way that happens. There are the first responders depending on where the land is and whose jurisdiction it is under. They are the first responders. Cal Fire is anything that is owned and operated essentially by the state of California.
Right.
Anything else is sort of a county and city jurisdiction, and then obviously federal lands, it's the U.S. Forest Service. And what they do typically, though, is they invite each other to help fight the fires.
Yeah.
So it is a kind of
they had a bunch of guys
effort.
on this one. What did they have? They had a total of. They're starting to drop down.
Yes.
They still, as of today, they still had 114 guys on it. I think at the most they had is 500 or 600. I gotta go back and look at the release, but they. But so it looks like approximately. Let me look at an acre total here for you.
It was about 100 acres.
Yeah, about 100 or so. So.
And they had it contained, or
yeah, I think
containing
80%. I think that they were there. So it's officially a 75-acre dome fire. So 75 to 100 acres, officially contained. And so this will be probably like that other one, the bummer fire, that in a couple of weeks it'll flare up again. No, just kidding.
Hopefully not.
Just kidding.
No.
Because the bummer fire, if you may recall, was one of the ones that was the lightning strike fires from July 25th.
Yes.
That went dormant, shall we say, and then a couple weeks later, hey,
it was
let's
back
do a little
again.
burning.
Exactly. It smoldered for a few weeks, and that's sometimes what happens, actually.
Yes.
And in other news, actually, the Boy Scouts installed park benches at White Pines Park last weekend on Saturday morning. And, wow.
There we go.
We
forgot to put silent on a ringer in the broadcast booth. No, Boy Scouts installed park benches at White Pines Park. And there's some really nice photos if you have access to the pinetree.net.
Yes, 4 new picnic benches up there, and White Pines gets a lot of usage during the summertime.
And Eagle Scout hopeful.
Yes.
Alex Munoz.
Yes.
Did the installations.
That was his project?
I believe so.
I tell you, those Eagle Scouts, they do a lot of good things for the communities they're in.
Yeah, they do.
They really do for their projects. And also, I think it's worth mentioning what happened on, Saturday night? The big boom?
Yes, the boom.
The boom. And, or was it Friday night? I think it was Saturday. But anyway.
Friday night, Saturday morning.
Yeah, Friday night, Saturday morning. And it sounded like at my house, like somebody jumped on the roof.
So you heard it too?
Yeah, we were all awake. And
see, the interesting thing is I was downstairs, and I thought my wife had just dropped something. And she was like, what? She's like, like I would have dropped something that loud. But
so my mother, who is actually visiting from Grand Prairie, Texas, heard the boom, and she said, what's that? And I said, well, maybe it's a squirrel.
No, you know what? It was a Texan squirrel.
A Texan squirrel,
things are bigger in Texas, so it was a Texas squirrel, right?
Sounded like it was going to come through the roof.
Yeah.
Yes,
so
it was
squirrel.
A possible meteor shower, apparently.
Yes, and if you have, this is another one that's kind of a fun one. If you have access to the site, the pinetree.net, we have 9 comments and threads of people's various
ideas of what it could be.
And we have our inbox. We have some more in our inbox we haven't put up yet. So,
go check it out if you want to see what other people's impressions of what it was.
Yeah, I think it was UFO and spacecraft.
Was it aliens?
No, just kidding.
Aliens landing in Calaveras County. Hey, there's a tourism boom.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe we should try to find where, if it was a meteor, if it hit, we could do a new, world's largest ball of twine thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What do you think?
Hey. It might,
Scenic byway, ball of twine. I mean, come on. It's like what else could you want?
That's true. That is true.
Right?
Absolutely.
You want to have a board of supervisors for tomorrow? Anything exciting going on there?
It's a very light agenda tomorrow, and they're going to be talking about tire disposal, which, if you've been in the county for a long time, everyone's whatever tire,
or just
spare tire. That's the exercise one.
Oh, I gotta.
But anyway,
never mind. We'll just leave that.
Extra tire, tires you don't use anymore disposal.
Oh.
And they're going to talk about the tire amnesty days. When you free your tires to the county, and apparently last year they had 6,000 tires actually.
6,000 tires
delivered to those amnesty days that they had.
Man.
And so
that's a lot of
tires, exactly. So apparently what the Board of Soups are going to discuss is whether or not to limit it to 2 tires per amnesty day that people can donate.
So the rest of them will just throw out along the road.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens tomorrow.
I shouldn't have said that. I'm a little rummy today.
Yeah, he is. He parked in a park in Monterey.
Yeah,
also, actually, and this is on the consent agenda, but it's worth mentioning that the Sheriff's Department is going to honor 2 of its deputies. One is going to be Dan Johnson for his 28 years of service.
28 years?
28 years of service with the Calaveras County Sheriff's
That's impressive.
Office. And the other one is recognizing Keith Anderson for his 25 years of service with the Calaveras County Sheriff's Office. So that's on the consent agenda, and I'm sure they'll pull it. I'm sure the sheriff will pull it, and there'll be a nice
little photo op
presentation. So. Nice little presentation there. So it's a pretty light agenda, and
our phone is ringing again. I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
I don't think I'm going to answer it, though.
No. Also, I wanted to touch a little bit on the November 6th elections. The final filing date for those positions that are open for special districts was actually on Friday, and August 10th. And incumbents, if you have not filed, you have a special grace period until August 15th to actually file to run for your seat again.
Upon them.
It's incumbent upon them. So we'll know for sure on the 16th when the list is released who's running for what offices. And I just want to say for the fire protection districts, remember this is a special district election, and it looks like the Sheriff's Department will also have their bond measure on this ballot as well. Fire Protection Districts, Copperopolis Fire Protection District, there are 4 directorships actually open. Jenny Lind Fire Protection District, 3 directorships are open.
Okay.
Sanitary District, San Andreas Sanitary District, 3 directors are open. Veterans Memorial Districts, Ebbets Pass Veterans Memorial District, two directors have open positions. West Point Veterans Memorial District, 4 directors. And West Point Veterans Memorial District sometimes has a little bit of trouble actually getting directors. So that's sort of interesting. Community Services Districts.
So you have first-hand knowledge of that.
I have Ebbets Pass.
Oh.
Yes. Copper Cove Community Services District, 3 directorships are open. So those are actually the special districts, and also CCWD is having a mail-in ballot. So you have seen the signs out for CCWD, I'm sure, already. And actually, what's interesting, you drive through San Andreas, it looks like there's a real CCWD election going on this time.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
Which is a very good thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's what's happening in election news, and on the 16th, we will have a list of all the people who have actually filed and are running for those positions. So.
Very nice.
Yes.
Well, what else was there exciting on...
Well, Bear Valley Music Festival.
The Bear Valley Music Festival ended up, and from all appearances, they had a very good run.
Yep.
So that's a good thing. And
a very good run. And you went out and talked with them a couple times.
I did.
Yes.
You know, I may have to do a. Do you want to talk about a little bit of state stuff? Because it sounds like
sure,
we just got an email that something may be wrong with our cable feed.
Oh,
so I've got to
well, then I will
look at our cable feed here real quick. State
budget. We still don't have a state budget. If some of you have been following that, we have one Republican vote that they're waiting for to cross over. And what's interesting is that it looks like the Republicans are actually really sticking in. So there are Republicans out there who people have been looking at to actually cross over, and they haven't crossed over yet. So let's see here. I actually found Carl Rove is to resign at the end of August, which was sort of an interesting thing.
Carl Rove?
The Brain will resign, and this is a year and a half, obviously, before the president steps down, so you're going to see a lot of exiting from...
Do you think this is one of those things where they're pushing him off the boat to try to shore up the Republican chances for...
I don't think so. This is something that typically happens.
Yeah.
You know, about a year and a half before a president steps down. Obviously, there's usually no carryover in staff, and they need to go on and prepare for...
You don't think Hillary would want to hire Carl?
No. Can you imagine that? Ooh, that would be sort of interesting.
I thought Carl would do a good job, wouldn't he?
I think he would.
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
Just kidding.
Yes. So that's actually that's one of the biggest headline, and this is sort of interesting. talking about the budget just a couple seconds ago. Brown in eye of budget storm. This is a headline from the Oakland Tribune.
Jerry Brown.
Political enigma. Jerry Brown's aggressive efforts to fight global warming, even at the county level, have tightened the deadlock on what seems to be a totally unrelated state crisis, the passage of an overdue budget.
Okay.
So that's sort of interesting. So you can read about that in the Oakland Tribune. And let's see.
Well, I mean, there's a couple national things. Oh, sorry.
Okay, I was just going to say, I found this actually earlier today. Tribe fails in attempt to head off 2 casinos. Whatever you think about the compacts, the governor.
So they didn't want competition from more tribes, huh?
Well, actually, what this one, with the I'll read the headline: San Bernardino Sun.
Right.
The San Manuel Band of Mission Indians failed to win support last week at a legislative conference in its efforts to change U.S. law governing Indian casinos. JPEG Coyne, tribal spokesman, cut short his attempt to win support at the National Conference of State Legislatures in Boston for a change in the law that would bar tribes from building off-reservation casinos unless they can prove an ancestral tie to the land where the casino is being built.
Okay.
Which is sort of interesting. There's a lot of that actually going on in California.
Okay, but I'm going to say something. Now, if they can tie an ancestral tribe, now weren't most of these tribes nomadic?
Yes,
to a
exactly.
certain extent?
So it's sort of an interesting
so you can
little
kind of
caveat
say,
there.
Yep, we trod these soils a couple hundred years ago.
Yes,
and
yes.
Isn't that?
But you also have to prove ancestral ties, which is not always easy because the records were not kept very well. And obviously,
really,
yeah, exactly.
You mean those from TP down to TP? Those things weren't kept very well.
But in the late 1800s, you didn't want to admit that you had any Indian blood or Native American, blood in you at all. So of course you were trying to get rid of all that.
And
so
I have to confess, my great grandmother was full-blooded Indian.
Was she?
Yes.
Wow.
My dad was telling me stories about her. She was about 4 feet tall, didn't have any teeth, and smoked a corncob pipe. But it was kind of an interesting.
Yeah, sort of an interesting. So
yeah.
If she was full-blooded. That's your great. So you're a quarter.
I guess that would make me so.
Wow. So you can have all those.
Great. So I think I'm a 16th. No,
well,
8th.
Then
I'm an 8th.
You don't qualify for anything.
I think as an 8th you do, though, don't you?
I think you do as an 8th.
Yeah, because I knew my dad said if I would have pushed it, I could have qualified.
For
I guess it's not too late.
Yeah.
I can still qualify for help, right?
I don't know. I think you may be a little past that. But I did also want to touch on this before we go to national news. This is from the San Francisco Chronicle. Legislators touched by leukemia push cord blood measures. For a decade, State Senator Carol Migden quietly battled the death sentence, an unusual form of leukemia. Now cancer-free, she wants to create a state system to collect and store umbilical cord blood, which shows enormous promise as a treatment for leukemia and other diseases.
Huh.
So that's sort of an interesting twist on state responsibility and that sort of thing. But it's interesting to come out.
Now, what did you think? Did you follow the Iowa caucuses at all?
I didn't follow it that closely, actually, because I don't want to get too burnt out on the election too quickly, quite frankly.
The presidential election.
Exactly. I'm just dipping in my toes right now.
Because otherwise it's going to be a long march till next November.
Exactly. Very long march. Very long march. What did you think of them?
I don't know. I know McCain wasn't happy.
Oh, no. He said it made no difference at all.
So he must not have been happy.
No. Exactly. Condoleezza Rice is staying put for now.
So she'll stay put?
Mm-hmm. And my little computer just went kaput.
Well, I guess it's an interesting thing if you look at how presidencies evolve. Now, George Bush, I guess could be said for either like him or dislike him, he was bright enough, and if you look back at presidents, it takes a certain amount of strength to admit where you're weak.
Exactly.
And he surrounded himself with guys like Karl Rove,
Strong,
Vice President Cheney, people who were very strong on nuts and bolts issues to where, and I think in most instances, he didn't care to spend his time. Because a person doesn't just coast through Yale.
Oh, no.
I mean, we get an MBA from Yale. It's so, I mean, there is...
It doesn't
amount
matter
of
what
aptitude
your family
there.
name is.
It's
you still have to
work.
work.
So I think it doesn't embarrass it. It shows a strength of character to be able to pick a strong. And I think, for example, if you go back to JFK, we've talked about this a little bit before. JFK chose LBJ as a running mate, even though there was personal animosity, because he knew that he needed LBJ to win.
Exactly.
He needed to pull the Southern vote, and he would not have won without it, not even close. Exactly. And I think that history will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how. It's going to be interesting how history views the Bush presidency.
It will be. It will be very interesting, and of course, we all won't be around.
Yeah, we will be around. Yeah, we will be around. But,
we're too close. We're too close to it right now.
Yeah,
but it's kind of interesting. Yeah,
because,
to think about that.
Yeah, and an interesting thing if Hillary gets elected again, which looks like now that's a lot of people are betting that way.
That she gets elected to the presidency?
Some people think so.
Really? Because I've heard the opposite.
Well, yeah, okay. Well,
she's
probably the odds-on Democratic nominee right now.
Although apparently there are factions of the Democratic base who think she's too negative.
Unelectable?
Yes, as far as to actually win a presidency. So it should be interesting. It should be interesting who they choose.
Yeah. It should be a very...
I always think it's fascinating. They sit there and they slam each other in the primary, and then they're all
best
friends.
You got to make nice. Exactly. And then the opposing party always uses the fodder that...
Yeah, exactly, that you threw at each other.
Yeah, you threw at each other out into the... which is one of those pieces.
And this was an interesting headline. New Orleans has regained 2/3 of its population.
Wow.
Which is actually sort of a very, very good thing.
Because that was not a,
Well, people thought that it wasn't going to rebuild quickly at all, and it's rebuilt very quickly.
Yeah.
So, and also workers are suffering from email stress, apparently.
Email stress?
Yes, you get a lot of emails in your job. Don't you?
Yes.
Yes.
And certain times there is an inbox stress.
And you feel like
because we do
you're
feel
stressed that you have to answer all of them.
Well, not only answer them, because a lot of times we get press releases and stuff. So for us, the stress is getting it posted quickly.
But some of these people are saying that they feel under pressure to check and respond quickly to emails, and some of them actually are checking their inboxes up to how many times an hour do you think?
How many times an hour?
Yeah.
I don't know.
40 times an hour.
An hour?
An hour.
How do you have time to do anything else to do?
Exactly. That'd be like every
email.
What would that be? Every 50 seconds or something?
I thought I was paranoid. I check mine a couple times an hour.
That's what the email stress is. So.
Wow. Now, if you would like to check our website 40 times an hour, please do.
Yes, that's fine.
That would be a much more productive.
Pinetree.net.
That would be a much more productive use of time, right? To just click refresh. It really would, I think. Don't you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it's just, and there's lots of great content on there to read. So just read away.
There is a lot of great content.
Yeah.
And there's
some not so great content, but there's content.
There's new content all the time.
Yes, there is.
All the time. And talking about new content, it's that time. We have to do the weather.
It is.
Unless
Did you want to say anything about Merv Griffin?
That's right. Merv Griffin passed away.
I remember growing up to the Merv Griffin show.
I don't remember.
You don't remember growing up to the Merv Griffin? My mom
I
used to watch.
remember the Merv Griffin show.
My mom used to watch the Merv Griffin show almost religiously.
That was a good talk show, though.
It was.
It really was, because I remember it.
See, because in our household, believe it or not, Merv had more sway than Johnny did.
Really?
Yes, we watched more Merv than Johnny. I guess we just went to bed earlier.
I guess so.
I guess that was part of it, but.
That's true. That's true. Okay, weather.
All right,
Let's get
weather.
some weather.
Let's get some
Arnold weather. Tonight, mostly clear at a low of 61 degrees. Tuesday, mostly sunny at a high of 88 degrees. Wednesday, 87 degrees. And Thursday, 83 degrees.
Should we bounce 3,000 miles away?
Sure.
We'll go from Arnold to Bangor, Maine.
Bangor, Maine.
80 degrees with rain with a 49 degree below. That's a bit chilly.
Wow.
Tuesday, tomorrow, 74 degrees for high, 48 degree low. Wednesday, 75 degree high with a 52 degree low. And Thursday, 75 and 56.
Well, that's kind of nice weather.
Yeah.
Bear Valley, Tuesday, 80 degrees. Wednesday, a high of 80 degrees again. And then Thursday, a high of 76 degrees.
Very nice weather.
Very nice. Ooh.
Oh.
Murphy's just has those blazing suns again.
Oh.
It's hot. Tuesday, hot. Hot. High of
Hot,
97 degrees. Wednesday, 96 degrees. And Thursday, 93 degrees.
But isn't this going to more of a typical pattern where the temperature's been fairly bunched, but now you're seeing that 20-degree spread between top and bottom? Yeah, Angels Camp, 95 degrees tomorrow, 94 degrees on Wednesday, 91 degrees on Thursday. So you're looking at more typical.
More typical.
Still probably a little tad on the low side.
Yeah, or a little.
With the exception of Murphy's.
It'll get hotter.
Yes, it will. Before it gets cooler.
Before it gets cooler.
I bet it'll do that tomorrow as well.
Yes, I think so.
I'm sorry, I'm a little...
Let's see. Let's see if we can find the weather for Copper. You get that much quicker than I do.
I will try.
Yes, you do. Let's see. In fact, see, and you can just watch us tap away.
Oh, this is good TV. If you can watch people type, now that is compelling. That is compelling
yes,
TV.
Compelling television. Yes, but
we're watching
trying.
John and Sarah type. Woo!
Yes,
okay, 95 degrees today, 96 degrees on Tuesday, 94 degrees on Wednesday, and 91 degrees on Thursday.
Oh, see, he's searching different than I am.
I'm just faster.
You're just searching differently. Let's see.
No, it's a more intelligent search.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see if this will work. I'm trying to get to... see how I ignore him.
Yes.
Valley Springs.
Yes.
Ah, look at that.
Valley Springs weather.
He was searching more intelligently.
Seaching. I was seaching.
You were seaching. Okay,
yes.
Valley Springs, actually, it's kind of nice. Tuesday, 95 degrees. Wednesday, 93 degrees. And Thursday, 90 degrees. So, actually, it'd be kind of nice to go down to Valley Springs.
Not bad.
And check it out.
And a little touch, sports will really start getting into when the season starts locally. But Woods grabbed another.
Oh, he did.
Major.
PGA
Grabbed a major.
Was he 5 within Nicholas? So 5 or 7?
Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Let's look.
I think it was 5.
Is it?
I think so, but I'm not.
Uh-oh. I don't think this one references that.
That's my memory. my little memory, because I actually read that this morning.
Huh.
So, let's see if I can come up with it.
Yes, more typing. Here we go. This is wonderful.
Wonderful television, see?
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go. Okay, I have to actually erase the whole title.
Here we go. Oh, we're having a type off, huh?
We should, yes. Let's see. And they've gotten rid of the... here we go. Golf.
Here we go.
Barry Bonds says 2008 is likely his last season.
Oh, one more? That's it?
Lucky number 13 for Tiger Woods. And...
here we go. Here we go.
They have not said.
They have not said? But he and Nichols?
Wow.
Let's see. Here we go. This is bad TV. You know what?
We're about to roll off anyway.
Yeah,
so
thank you very much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow night. And we have to search for this elusive Nicholas.
That's right.
Nicholas comparison.
But we'll see you tomorrow with scintillating Calaveras.
If you want to watch us type, please.
Please do. Feel free. So we'll say goodnight to our television audience, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Let's see. Here we go.
Here. Let's see. Story. What's it going to give me?
Tiger's Greatness.
Let's see. 13.
Did we pull the same one?
We probably did.
Here we go. Here we go. More great TV.
Yes, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Great web television. 5 to go.
5 to go.
5. I was right. 5 or 7. 5.
See, she's usually always right. So if you watch long enough, I will relish the occasional instance
weather,
where I can compete intellectually. It'll. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you joining us tonight, and we will be back tomorrow night with another wonderful and exciting edition of the Calaveras County Nightly News. And we may have more stuff on our set tomorrow night. More fun stuff.
Very cool.
So,
got to tune in and find out what it is, though.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.